5 lessons in leadership from Ted Lasso.
And all you fellas need to do is believe it.
Oh! If you haven't seen Ted Lasso has become probably my favorite show on television in the last 5 to 10 years.
What?
It's true.
Now, if you don't know the concept behind the show, essentially what it is it's an American football coach who is Ted Lasso.
Who are you? Well, I'm Ted Lasso. This is Coach Beard here.
Oh, God, you're the new manager.
Yes, sir.
Who gets hired to coach a Premier League soccer team over in Europe. And so it's kind of a crazy concept because it's a totally different sport. And by his own admission, Ted really doesn't know anything about soccer.
No, I have never coached the sport that you folks call football. At any level.
Jesus.
And heck, you could fill 2 internets with what I don't know about football.
Even though Ted is not an expert in soccer, he is clearly an expert in leadership and an expert in team building.
Okay, all right. I see what's going on here.
Here are my 5 lessons from Ted Lasso.
Hey, sit down, listen.
Give your team something to believe in. And for leaders, I think that means creating a vision. Now, actually, in the show, he actually creates a poster that says believe.
For me, success is not about the wins and losses. It's about helping these young fellas be the best versions of themselves on and off the field.
And those of us who are fans will see that poster and understand that that's exactly what he is meaning. So, like, is that trust the process? But you create a vision that everybody can buy into so that everybody on your team is rowing the boat in the same direction. We need to have that vision so that we can recenter and make sure that we are going in the same direction as the vision. And that's one of the things that Ted Lasso does such a great job of, and I certainly aspire to. So create that vision so that your team has something to believe in.
Richmond on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Number 2, listening to issues builds trust. Now, I'm going to try and steer clear of a lot of spoilers here, but sometimes I have to just tell the story. So in the first season, one of the first things that Ted Lasso and Coach Beard does is they create a suggestion box, and they're like, tell us the things that you are really struggling with. Now, just like in real life, they get a bunch of suggestions that are not very kind.
Let's see what we got here. Wanker. Let's see what else we got. Piss off, wanker. I hope you choke on a Big Mac.
Good thing these are anonymous.
No, Roy signed that one.
But they got a few that they could really address. One of them was a simple one.
Here's a good one. Shower pressure is rubbish. Make a note of that.
Careful, son. The gaffer's fixed the water pressure.
And by simply listening to their team and fixing the things that they could fix, it really did build trust. And I think the same is true for your team. I think often as leaders, we think we should sort of sit above everybody and make the edicts and everyone should follow along. But the reality of it is those on the front lines are the ones who are dealing with customers on an everyday basis. And they often have the best suggestions on not only how to better build the team, but on how to better serve the customer.
You know what? It's not even very good. It's probably really bad. You know what? It's embarrassing even.
Sorry, Nate. I have a real tricky time hearing folks that don't believe in themselves, so I'm going to ask you real quick again. Do you think this idea will work?
Yeah, I do.
Whoa! Why are you screaming at us, Nate? We're right here.
Lesson number 3 from Ted Lasso is forgiveness is a superpower.
I forgive you.
You what? Why?
Over and over in the show, you see people get redeemed, but there were things in there that were really, really tough to deal with. And when Ted, in particular, leads the way by forgiving, it is amazing how that creates an emotional bond that is really hard to overcome. So I think that if you want to build a relationship, build a culture in your team where people trust one another, being able to forgive mistakes, forgive those wrongdoings are really great in building that culture.
I think that if you care about someone and you got a little love in your heart, there ain't nothing you can't get through together. You know what I'm saying?
And sort of the side lesson to that is forgiveness is also a way to let yourself go. I think so many times that we struggle with forgiveness because we think that we're letting somebody off the hook. And that's absolutely not the case. The reality of it is that you forgive them, but you're letting go of that for yourself. It doesn't mean that you're letting them off from accountability perspective, but you let go of that so that you are not drinking the poison and hoping that that affects somebody else. So forgiveness is a superpower.
It might be time to try something different. Just forgive him.
I ain't giving him that.
No, you ain't giving him anything. You choose to do that, you're giving that to yourself.
Lesson number 4 is toxic people really harm the team. In the show, and especially in that first season, one of the superstars of the team was Jamie Tart.
Jamie Tart, Jamie Tart,
As undeniably catchy as that tune is, I need you to cut the crap right now.
And he was an incredibly talented footballer. And unfortunately, he was also a prima donna and kind of a jerk to his teammates.
Hands in! On 3! 1, 2, 3!
Jamie, you a germaphobe? Because I'm trying to think of a reason you didn't put your hand in with the rest of the team.
Didn't want to. This team is tragic. I scored all the goals, and I'm the only one they come to see. Hands in.
I'd love to hash out some of the nuances there, but I'm not having the best of days.
Actually, it doesn't matter what you say, because in my head, I'm just hearing the crowd cheer my name after I scored a goal tonight.
Despite the fact that he was uber talented, you know, that was a personality that didn't serve the team well. And I think that can be true often of our teams, right? We have people who we forgive their misguided personality traits sometimes because they're really talented. But the reality of it, over time, that wears on a team and it really decreases your productivity and it really hurts the culture of your team. So get rid of toxic people and you'll lift everybody else up. Lesson number 5, there is power in positivity. You see this over and over again in the show Ted Lasso, and I believe it plays out in life. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think that there is power in manipulation. I think there's power in true positivity. When you have someone that you need to give feedback to on your team, starting with the things that they do well, I actually think is great. It helps to lift them up and it allows you to acknowledge the things that they are providing to the team. And I think when you do that over and over and you create positive feedback regularly, then when there is time for candid feedback, I think it is more well received.
Hey, Sam, come here a sec.
Coach, I'm sorry.
You know what the happiest animal on earth is? It's a goldfish. You know why?
No.
It's got a 10-second memory. Be a goldfish, Sam. Yeah? Yeah, you got it. Go ahead.
It is contagious, that positivity. And I think that's the kind of culture I want to create here at Hasseman Marketing. And I think it's the kind of culture I am drawn to in other organizations. And so those are my 5 lessons from Ted Lasso on leadership in business. Now, I hope that this has provided you some fun and some value. And if it has, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. We're trying to grow that subscription base and so that we can reach more people and serve more people. And I hope you are a part of it. Thank you so much for watching. And hey, feel free to check out Ted Lasso on Apple TV. We'll see you next time.
So long, farewell, Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. We hate to go.